Welcome back. This is the Hammer Down Show on 1017 The Hammer and the 1017 The Hammer app. We're over to our Hammerhead hotline. Coach Jesse Shale of Faith Christian is on with us. A massive win this week at home over Attica. Coach, congratulations. I think we're just talking about this. I'm pretty sure this ties a program high for points scored by your team. It's certainly, I can almost guarantee you that it is a program record for margin of victory. I think we're pretty close on that as well. Just look, we talked last week about this, and you were talking about building the confidence and getting the guys do what they do and to buy into that. I feel like this is, the I'm trying to figure out how I want to phrase this properly, but I mean, this is the fruits of that labor, right? I mean, it's so nice to say, "Hey, if we do this, we're going to win," and then they go out and they do it, and it's a no doubter.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing we've already talked about before is just getting the guys to believe that things like this could be possible. And again, it's got to be about what we go out and put out on the field. And certainly we didn't play a perfect football game, but it's making strides in that direction and building on what you do well, and then going back and correcting the other items because the weeks continue to pile on. So, but it was definitely good to go in and feel like some things that you'd really put a lot of time and effort to with the guys. You get that they get the opportunity to see some of that fruit and then say, oh well, maybe we can do this. Maybe we can actually perform at a higher level together than we thought. So,
I mean, we've discussed this. I've discussed this with other coaches constantly. I mean, to try to instill confidence sometimes in teenage boys, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. But to be able to see that, and I know it's these personal victories, these little victories that you can see in each individual player, going from those struggles that they might have at practice into this game and seeing them succeed. I mean, that's why we coach, right?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And that's part of, what we want to bring to them too, is we bring them in to take a look at the film too, is like, hey, when you do the things that you're supposed to do, like things tend to go the way you expect them to go. And when you don't do them that way, then, you get what you get. So it's kind of one of those elements that helps you to then like let them see that, like, oh yeah, like it's not just like you said, like we said before, it's not just an accident that we like win a game. Like, no, there's intentionality, and that's why when we're on you in practice, there's a reason. So let's actually stop like being passive about that and actually engage it. So
Every parent and teacher that just is listening to this right now is going,
I know.
Oh, shocker. I know what I was talking about. And if you
Right.
listened, it worked out. Shocker how that works out all of a sudden. But no, look, it's great. 48-8. It's a victory over Attica. And now you're able to take that and roll into this matchup against Clinton Central. Talk a little bit about, I know we're very early on in the week here, but I mean, the Bulldogs are under a new coach this year in Michael Griffey, who got a 12-6 victory last week at Frankfurt. And talk a little bit about your prep and what you guys are going to have to work on this week in order to get another victory over Clinton Central this week.
Yeah, Clinton Central knows how to play football, and that's something that they have done for a while. And then in our years of playing them, when they come out, they play that old school football of knowing that we're just going to bring it to you. We're going to smash you in the mouth, and you got to figure out what you're going to do about it. And so for us, it's continuing to help our guys with their technique to make sure that like when they're putting themselves in that position, like it's going to be a fight. And so you want to take every opportunity, every tiny detail to put yourself in a position to be successful, because if you don't, there's no margin for error there. It's either you're successful or you're going to get blown back. So we're going to definitely be emphasizing a lot of that this week, because that's the kind of football that when you get done playing those games too, you're at the end of it, you're exhausted, but you like feel like you did something. And so at least as a player, that was some of that on my end too. And so you want the guys to understand it's what they're going into and how important it is for them to just focus on those details, because every inch is going to count.
I do want to look one more time back at last week and just tell me what it was there a certain aspect of the game that really stood out to you? Maybe offensive, defensive players, scheme, something that you were like, hey, listen, we really knocked it out of the park with that. I saw where we worked on that in practice, and then we really executed on that aspect of what we worked on during the week.
Yeah, there was. This was the first. So to put this in perspective, we did not have our normal conference jamboree or scrimmage the week before because the weather had just, basically torn apart the fields that we were going to maybe be playing on. Well, it didn't tear apart, but they were they were waterlogged and everything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the last time that we had played together was like as a unit against other teams was in the summer in late July. And even then we had, a number of key guys that were out that week for a variety of reasons. And so it was good to see, for lack of a better term, the number ones together doing the things together that we'd only done in practice and we hadn't really seen against another team, another set of opposition. So that was good to see, like some of those mechanics, especially on offense, because like some of them, some of that coming through. But honestly, too, one of the first things that popped in my head was special teams. I mean, we've had such ups and downs, mostly downs sometimes with special teams, and just trying to help guys who are young in football play special teams, which is sometimes not only overlooked, but for guys who are young in football, it can be a challenging set of plays to do well in. And so for us to have a punt return touchdown, for us to have maybe a couple longer returns but no scores is a victory. Just because that it can be something where a little weakness in one area, a little missed block, or a potential missed rip off a block can turn into a major issue. So that was definitely a win as well.
Coach Jesse Shale, Faith Christian Eagles, starting out 1-0 for the third consecutive season, which you'll love to see. They will travel out to Clinton Central, take on the Bulldogs on Friday nights, a tough opponent, but you love the momentum that this program has. Coach, it's always great talking with you. Best of luck with the rest of prep this week, and I hope you guys are able to go out there and pick up another W against Clinton Central this week.
Thanks so much. We'll do our best.